America could be just a year away from electing its first openly gay president. The ban on trans military service just went into effect, and it's already having an impact. Arizona overturned a bill that harmed queer students, but a school in Wyoming just banned rainbow flags. And Canada just elected a new premier who inflicted terrible harm on people living with HIV. We'll have the week's top LGBTQ news and actions you can take on Weekly Debrief. Weekly Debrief is made possible by everyone who pledges their support on Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/mattbaum or click the link in the description to check out the rewards for backers. This week, Pete Buttigieg formally announced his candidacy for president. He's not the first openly queer person to run for office. There have been other long-shot candidates in the past, like Eileen Miles and drag queen Joan Jett Black in 1992. There was also David McReynolds in 1980. And by the way, if you know of anyone earlier, please let me know. Also this week, the Republicans' ban on trans military service went into effect. Military academies wasted no time in declaring themselves off-limits for trans students, and bizarrely, the Department of Defense says that trans people may still be allowed to serve as long as they don't transition. In other words, if they deprive themselves of treatment for a medical condition. There's some good news in Arizona this week. A law that prevented schools from providing safe sex education to queer students is finally gone. It's been on the books for almost 30 years, but it was repealed just 2 weeks after Land Illegal filed suit against the state. But in Laramie, Wyoming, a school has essentially banned rainbows. The move comes after a group of students displayed Confederate flags and distributed flyers with racist and anti-gay messages. Other students responded with a protest that included rainbow flags, and this week the school informed students in the GSA that they would no longer be allowed to display rainbows, saying that the rainbows were as offensive as the anti-gay and racist flyers. And there's alarming news from Canada. Jason Kenney is the new premier of Alberta. In the past, he's bragged about helping to overturn a law that allowed gay men to visit their partners who were dying of HIV in hospitals. He opposes safe schools for queer students. He called equality a virus. And he says that queer people marrying each other is the same as incest. So he's just terrible. But there's also some good news. Activists are already gearing up to prevent Kenney from doing more harm. This week's action item is to connect with the Alberta Civil Liberties Research Center at aclrc.org. You can volunteer, donate, and follow them on social media. Thanks to everyone who makes Weekly Debrief possible with the pledge of support on Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/mattbaum or click the link in the description to check out the backer rewards. Please let me know about stories that need covering at mattbaum on Twitter and in the YouTube comments, and I'll debrief you next week.